What's up, world? It's your boy One Deep 215 back with another video. Wanted to get into these NFL playoffs we got going on, Super Wild Card Weekend. Wanted to give my predictions and what I think might transpire this upcoming weekend. It's a big weekend. We got some very, very intriguing matchups, y'all. This weekend is actually in the past playoff wild card weekends. This one might be at the top as far as the matchups. I even got an upset for y'all. Yes, I do believe there'll be an upset, a major upset. So we're gonna start off with on Saturday afternoon. It seemed like the Texans, not saying they don't get no love. They make the playoffs just about every year because the AFC South is awful. Mediocre at best. But they always get that first game, no matter what. They always get the first game. If y'all are true NFL fans, y'all know what I'm talking about. Every wild card weekend, if they a wild card team, they the first game. They that early afternoon game every weekend, whether they home, away. It's just crazy. But Saturday, we're going to kick it off with the Chargers against the Texans. Like I said, intriguing matchups. You can't beat that. Starting off the weekend, I think C.J. Stroud going to do his thing, Don't get me wrong. I like Justin Herbert. But to me, he has to win a big game for me to really have, total faith in him. He's a good quarterback, drop-back quarterback. He got some weapons. He definitely got skill. But the Chargers, to me, their defense is lacking a little bit. So I'm going to go with the Houston Texans to take that one. I think C.J. Stroud going to do his thing, like I said. They going to move on. They won last year, All-Star Weekend. Wild Card Weekend, they won their game. That was at home. I think they're going to come back this season and win another playoff game and move on to the divisional round. So I like the Houston Texans beating the Chargers. In a not so tight game. Not a blowout. Something like 31-17. I'm liking the Houston Texans in that one. Then after that, later on that afternoon, we got the Steelers and the Ravens from Baltimore, Maryland. Ravens at home, obviously. You got Russell Wilson on one side going up against Lamar Jackson, who I think is a finalist for MVP. I know Lamar don't have the best playoff numbers. He's either injured or he's lackluster in the playoffs. But I do believe Baltimore will pull this one out at home in a closer game. Somewhere around 20-17, 20-14 type of game. I think, obviously Derrick Henry, he's going to do his thing. Derrick Henry has helped this team so much. Now, they didn't win as many games as I thought they was this season, but they still won their division. And you can't argue with that. Pittsburgh was on their heels for a while, even over top of them for a while, but Pittsburgh just straight up fell off the face of the earth the last 2 months, if you ask me. At least a month and a half. I don't see the Steelers going into Baltimore in a hostile environment and winning that game. I just don't. Could they win? Yes. That's why these are predictions. Trust me, if I knew some stuff, I'd play a bunch of lottery tickets right now. I wouldn't even be here talking to y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I might be smoking a cigar or some type of. Wait, let me get getting confused here. I like I like Baltimore to win that one. Like I said, in a closer game, probably a 3 to 7 point game. Look for Baltimore to take that one over Pittsburgh. And then the nightcap, later on Saturday night, we got the Broncos going into Buffalo to face the Bills. Believe it or not, y'all, this is my upset special. I believe Denver is going to go into Bills Mafia. Ralph Wilson, it used to be called Ralph Wilson Stadium. New Era Field or whatever it's called now. And that is a hostile environment. Out of all the playoff teams, they may have the most hostile environment as far as home field advantage. Now that I think about it, some other teams, but I believe that Denver, for whatever reason, is going to go into Buffalo and beat Josh Allen and the Bills. You heard it here first. One deep, 2 on 5. Broncos. I mean, Bo Nix. It ain't even the quarterback play because we know Josh Allen is better than Bo Nix. It ain't like I think he's going to outplay him. I think the defense is going to keep the Broncos' defense is going to keep them in that game. They're just going to keep them in, and I obviously think it's going to be a close game because of the upset. But I could see Denver beating Buffalo Bills 21-17. Call me crazy, but I just feel it. I feel like because definitely going to be an upset this weekend. Somebody going to get upset that wasn't supposed to lose, and I think this is it. A lot of these teams are close. A lot of these teams, that's why it's such a great weekend. A lot of these teams are very close, but I'm telling y'all, don't be surprised if Denver move on to the divisional round and everybody be looking at Buffalo like, what in the world is going on? Because that's another team that don't have a whole lot of success in the playoffs. They might win a game, and then that's it. They run into their kryptonite, the Kansas City Chiefs usually. They just run into a lot of things. But this year, I don't even think they're going to make it to get to the Chiefs. I think they're going to get knocked off by Denver and an upset that nobody is, that I know of, is seeing. But I feel it. So look for that sleeper. Let's move over to Sunday, y'all. Sunday we got 2 games. Actually, that Browns-Bills game is on Sunday. So I'm sorry, that's not a night game. So on Sunday, we got the Packers and the Eagles. That's the second game. That's the second game of 3 on Sunday. That was my fault. I had to double look at the schedule, y'all. Players mess up too, I guess, right? But yeah, this is obviously a game that I have a lot of investment in. I mean, obviously. I ain't gonna lie, I see the Eagles beating the Packers. This might be the most lopsided game. And not just because I'm an Eagles fan, y'all. Because I'm not one of those fair weather fans or whatever you want to call it. I don't drink the Kool-Aid and just go with my team. But I don't see Green Bay going into Lincoln Financial Field doing a whole lot. I just don't. The Eagles is too talented. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Packers, they got their stuff with them. I mean, Jordan Love is an okay quarterback. He's like a lower level. He's like a lower level C.J. Stroud, if you ask me. It's a lower level. Still young, still got some things he can brush up on, but a good quarterback. But I don't see him coming into this hostile environment and doing anything with the Philadelphia Eagles at all. I think this might be a blowout. I could see the Eagles winning this game 31-10 and just a rout. We'll see. The Eagles defense is strong. They're not giving up that little small stuff. They're not giving up that little, you can dink and dunk, but you're not getting them. It's just their defense is very formidable. And I could say that, they got their stuff together. Jalen Hurts is coming back off of the concussion. He's going to come out of protocol by Wednesday. He's going to be cleared. For all y'all that think he's, is he going to play? No, he'll be ready. And that's how I see that one. Then on Sunday night, which is the third game, that's why I said I mixed it up. I had a brain freeze there. You got the Redskins and the Buccaneers. They gonna be down there in Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, wherever they play. I said Fort Lauderdale, St. Petersburg. I think they play in Tampa though. I know their baseball team played in St. Pete, but believe it or not, I got the Redskins going on the road and winning that game. I got the Redskins going down Florida and winning. For whatever reason, Jaden Daniels, I think he's a wild card. I don't think they're going to be able to contain him. He's not elusive like a Lamar Jackson that you always got to, you got to put a spy on him and you got to account for him. It ain't that deep. But he's elusive, and I think he's a wild card in wild card weekend. I mean, what are the odds? So I don't think they're going to have enough to contain what he could do with his elusiveness. I could see the Commanders, right? I'm too old school for this. But I can see the Commanders going down there and beating them, moving on to the divisional round, where no matter what, they won't play the Eagles. So if the Commanders do win that game, they will be going to Detroit Detroit. If they win, they'll be going to Detroit more than likely if everything goes chalk. There's no way the Commanders can play the Philadelphia Eagles in the second round, no matter what breaks out, no matter what. As long as the Eagles win, the Eagles got to win to get there. But so they will either be playing Detroit or another team that we about to get to, which because on Monday night, they part of it now. They got to get their stuff too, ESPN said, don't leave us out. Joe Buck want to call the game. He like, wait, I'm going to be part of the playoffs, They've been doing that for like the last 3 years, putting the game on Monday, before Buck and Aikman joined ESPN. But, that's a little side tidbit. We got the Vikings and we got the Rams. Good game, but guess what? I think the Vikings going to have a huge chip on their shoulder from the way they played in Detroit the other night for that division game. Detroit put a spanking on them, and it just wasn't. Sam Darnold had his worst game as a Viking. He looked like he was back in the Meadowlands or something. I mean, and he's had a good season, but, it is what it is. But I can see the Vikings going into Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium and beating the Rams. I just, and that's no big upset. The Vikings won 14 games, but it's the whole road thing. But that's how I see it. I think they got a chip on their shoulder, and, Matt Stafford and them boys ain't going to have a whole lot of answers. I think this will be the most high-scoring game of the weekend. I could see this one going, 38-35, 38-31 type of game. But I think the Vikings going to have a chip. They mad. Justin Jefferson, all them boys, they going to come out. I'm telling you. So we'll see how these predictions hold up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tap that bell too, so my videos coming. And we got some more videos coming out, y'all. I'm just pushing them out. Till next time, stay safe. I'll holla at y'all.